Something just changed in the Yellowstone universe, and if you missed this detail in the 1944 trailer, you're about to see the entire Dutton story in a completely different way. Because this isn't just another spinoff, this is where everything starts to break. Spencer Dutton is no longer the same man we saw in 1923. And the trailer makes that painfully clear. The look in his eyes, the silence, the way he carries himself, it all points to one thing: something inside him is gone. And at the same time, a war is rising, not just on the battlefield, but inside the Dutton family itself. When you really break down the Yellowstone 1944 trailer, you start to notice that this story is built on two completely different worlds colliding. On one side, we have the Dutton Ranch, where Spencer has now fully stepped into power. He's older, harder, and far more distant. After everything he went through in the past, especially the loss that changed him forever, this version of Spencer feels cold, almost disconnected from everything around him. You can tell that he's not the same emotional, passionate man anymore. Instead, he's someone who has buried his pain so deep that it's now shaping every decision he makes. And that's exactly what makes him dangerous, not just to his enemies, but even to his own family. At the same time, the trailer hints at a much bigger stage, World War II, and this is where things get even more intense. John Dutton II is now at the age where war is not a choice, but almost a responsibility. The timeline perfectly aligns with one of the most brutal moments in history, and if the series follows that path, we could see him thrown straight into the chaos of battle. This creates a powerful contrast. While Spencer is fighting to hold on to the ranch and protect the Dutton legacy, John could be fighting for survival in a completely different kind of war. 2 generations, 2 battlefields, but both driven by the same name, Dutton. But here's where the real tension starts to build. The trailer subtly suggests that the biggest threat might not come from outside enemies, but from within the family itself. There are hints of another claimant, someone with a connection to the Dutton bloodline, possibly returning after years away. And if that happens, it opens the door to a full-blown inheritance conflict. Think about it. Land, power, legacy, all of it suddenly being questioned. And in a world like Yellowstone, these kinds of conflicts never stay peaceful for long. They turn into battles, betrayals, and sometimes deaths. What makes this even more interesting is how Spencer fits into all of this. Because if there is one thing the trailer makes clear, it's that Spencer is not someone who will easily give up control. He has already lost too much. And now, the ranch is the only thing he has left that still connects him to his past. So if anyone tries to take that away from him, it won't just be a disagreement, it will be a war. And given how emotionally shut down he seems, there's a real possibility that Spencer could become one of the most ruthless versions of a Dutton we've ever seen. Then there's the emotional layer that quietly runs beneath everything. Even though the trailer focuses on conflict and war, there are small moments that hint at something deeper: regret, loneliness, and the weight of choices that can't be undone. Spencer's journey feels less like a story of power and more like a story of survival. Not just physical survival, but emotional survival. And that's what makes his character so compelling in this timeline. He's not just fighting enemies, he's fighting himself. And let's not ignore the bigger picture here. Yellowstone has always been about legacy, what it means, what it costs, and who gets to carry it forward. 1944 looks like the chapter where that legacy is tested more than ever before. With war on the outside and conflict on the inside, the Dutton family is being pushed to its limits. Every decision matters, every loss hits harder, and every character is forced to choose what they're willing to sacrifice. Now, the biggest question remains: when will we actually get to see all of this unfold? While the trailer doesn't confirm an exact date, everything points toward a release window that isn't too far away. The scale of the story, the connections to previous series, and the growing demand from fans all suggest that this is a priority project. And if that's true, we could be looking at one of the most intense and emotional entries in the Yellowstone universe very soon. So now it's your turn. After watching this breakdown, do you think Spencer will completely lose himself in this new chapter? And will John Dutton II's war story change the future of the Dutton family forever? Because if the trailer is anything to go by, 1944 isn't just continuing the story, it's rewriting it.